Welcome back to my channel. Please come with me to watch this beautiful emotional love story, where Jungkook fell in love with his stepbrother Taehyung. How love hurts little too much. Hope you enjoy the show. Remember, it is a fanfiction story, pure imaginations of mine. Do not take it very seriously. Let's start. The John Kim family home was a spacious, modern estate outside Seoul. Glass walls, sprawling gardens, marble floors that clicked under Taehyung's sneakers as he ran downstairs, hair still damp from the shower. "Hyung, let's go. We're going to be late for class." Jungkook was leaning on the kitchen counter in ripped jeans and a black tee that strained over thick biceps. He eyed Taehyung's outfit, an oversized pale blue sweater that dipped a little too low at the collarbone, revealing a hint of his delicate clavicle. His jaw tightened. "Go change." Taehyung halted. "What? That's too low." "Hyung, it's a sweater, not a crop top. I said change." Mrs. Kim, Taehyung's mother, paused at the stove, turning to frown. "Jungkook, he's fine. It's a normal outfit." Jungkook didn't even look at her. His eyes were locked on Taehyung, dark and unyielding. "Do you want me to pick it for you myself?" Taehyung's cheeks burned. "Ugh, fine." He stomped upstairs, mumbling, "You're insane." Mrs. Kim shot Jungkook a bewildered look. "Why are you so strict with him? You're not his father, you know." Jungkook's fingers drummed on the counter. "I don't want him looking cheap. It's a sweater, Jungkook. It's too low," he growled. Mr. John folded his newspaper, watching them with a sigh. "You two act like an old married couple fighting about clothes," he muttered. Jungkook glared but said nothing. A few minutes later, Taehyung reappeared in a turtleneck. Jungkook gave a satisfied grunt. "Better." Taehyung scowled, pushing past him toward the door. "I hate you." "No, you don't," Jungkook said calmly, grabbing the car keys. "Come on." In the car, they drove together every day to college. Jungkook was a grad student in business, completing his master's while helping his father run the family company part-time. He was notorious on campus, rich, absurdly good-looking, built like a fighter. Taehyung was a freshman in fine arts, ethereally beautiful, fragile in a way that made Jungkook furious at the world. He gripped the wheel too hard, watching Taehyung check his hair in the mirror. "Stop fussing. I want to look nice." "You already look nice. Too nice. That's the problem." Taehyung turned to stare. "Excuse me? Stop being so obvious." "I'm not obvious. You are to perverts." Taehyung threw up his hands. "You're insane. You know that, right?" Jungkook didn't answer. He just accelerated. College. They walked in together every morning. Jungkook was taller, broader, walking half a step behind like a personal bodyguard. If Taehyung paused to chat with a classmate, Jungkook would hover. "Who's that?" "Just Jimin from class." "Stop smiling at him." "I'm not flirting, you psycho." Jungkook would glare at Jimin until the poor boy scuttled away. Taehyung would huff, stomping off. Yet every day they went home together. At dinner, Mrs. Kim tried to be diplomatic. "You know, Jungkook, you don't have to take him every morning. He can ride with his friends." Jungkook stabbed at his steak. "He doesn't need to. I'm going anyway. Let him have some freedom." "I'm not talking about this." Taehyung glared across the table. Yeah. He's so controlling it's humiliating. Mr. John raised an eyebrow. Son, you are a bit overprotective. Jungkook cut his father off. He's my brother. I'm looking out for him. You're suffocating me? Taehyung shot back. The table went silent. Jungkook dropped his knife with a clatter. Eat your dinner. Flashback 10 years ago. Jungkook was 13 when his mother died. He'd never forget the way she looked in that white hospital bed. Her hair thin and dull. She'd smiled weakly. Take care of your father, Jungkook. Be strong. Be kind. He hadn't cried at the funeral. He just stood there, numb, watching his father weep. The house fell silent for a year, until Mrs. Kim arrived. She was warm, smiling gently. She had a boy behind her, small and beautiful with big brown eyes. Taehyung. Jungkook hadn't wanted to like him, but the boy had followed him everywhere. Hyung, play with me. Hyung, look at this drawing. He'd been annoying, clingy, and Jungkook hadn't been able to push him away. Flashback, early school days. By high school, Jungkook was tall, broad, popular. He'd catch Taehyung giggling with other kids, cheeks pink. Why are you laughing with them? They're my friends. Don't hang around them. Why? Because they're idiots. You're so mean, Hyung. He'd grab Taehyung's backpack, yanking him away. Stick with me. Taehyung would sulk, but he always did. Back to present day. Now at 23, Jungkook still watched Taehyung like a hawk. As they entered campus, he caught sight of Taehyung smiling shyly at a new friend in fine arts. A soft-eyed boy named Felix. Jungkook's teeth ground together. Taehyung laughed at something Felix said. Jungkook strode over, pulling Taehyung by the wrist. We're leaving. Hyung, let go. Now. Felix blinked. Is everything okay? Jungkook glared so fiercely Felix backed away. Taehyung stumbled after Jungkook. Why do you always do this? He yelled. Jungkook didn't answer, because he didn't have words for it. For the fire that burned in his chest seeing Taehyung smile meant for anyone else. For the sickening possessiveness that made him want to lock Taehyung away where no one could see him. He didn't know how to say, "You're mine. You've always been mine." So instead he just held tighter. Taehyung was yanked halfway across the courtyard before he twisted free. His eyes flashed with anger, breath hitching from the force of Jungkook's grip. What is wrong with you? Jungkook didn't answer. He just grabbed Taehyung's wrist again, ignoring the stares from other students. We're going home. I have class. I don't care. Hyung, let go of me. He dragged him all the way to the parking lot. Taehyung's bag slipped from his shoulder, papers spilling. He tried to collect them, but Jungkook just yanked him upright. Forget it. Get in the car. Taehyung's cheeks burned with embarrassment. You're such a bastard. Jungkook slammed the passenger door shut behind him. Inside the car, silence thick as fog. Jungkook gripped the wheel until his knuckles turned white. Taehyung glared at the window, eyes shiny with unshed tears. Why do you do this? He whispered, voice cracking. Jungkook swallowed hard. Do what? Embarrass me. Treat me like a child. Ruin my friendships. Jungkook's jaw ticked. He was too close to you. Felix is my friend. He wants more than friendship. You don't know that. I can tell. Taehyung scoffed bitterly. Oh right, because you're such an expert in love. Jungkook's hands flexed on the wheel. He was looking at you like you're easy, like he could just take you. Taehyung's voice broke. Why do you care so much? Because you're mine. The words slipped out low, furious. Taehyung froze, eyes wide. Jungkook's pulse thudded in his ears. I mean, you're my brother. I'm responsible for you. Taehyung turned away, blinking fast. You're not my father, Jungkook. They drove the rest of the way in silence. Every mile felt like a suffocating eternity. Jungkook's eyes kept flicking to Taehyung's profile. So delicate, so breakable, so his. He wanted to apologize, to explain, but the words lodged in his throat like glass shards. Home, early evening. As soon as they walked in, Mrs. Kim looked up from the couch. Oh good, you're back. Dinner will be in an hour. She saw Taehyung's face and frowned. Tae? What's wrong? Taehyung didn't answer. He tossed his bag down and went straight upstairs, shoulders rigid. Mrs. Kim turned slowly to Jungkook. What did you do now? Jungkook's mouth tightened. Nothing. Nothing. She crossed her arms. He looked like he was about to cry. He was talking to someone I don't trust. You can't just decide who he can see. Yes, I can. Mrs. Kim blinked. Jungkook. He's 18, not 8. Jungkook rubbed his eyes, suddenly exhausted. He doesn't understand people. He's too soft. He's not stupid. I didn't say he was. He's innocent. It makes him a target. A target for what? Friendship? Dating? He's allowed to grow up. Jungkook's jaw set stubbornly. Not like that. Mrs. Kim studied him carefully, brows knitting. Why do you really care this much? Jungkook didn't answer. Dinner was strained. Mr. John tried to make conversation about the company. Taehyung picked at his rice silently. Mrs. Kim watched them both, exasperated. Can you two stop fighting for one meal? Taehyung stabbed a piece of kimchi. Tell him to stop acting like he owns me. Jungkook's eyes flashed. I don't own you. I protect you. I don't need protecting. You're too naive to know what you need. Mrs. Kim slammed her chopsticks down. Enough. Both of you. Silence fell. Taehyung's lips trembled, but he refused to let the tears fall. Later that night, Jungkook stood outside Taehyung's room, fist raised to knock. He hesitated. He could hear soft sniffles inside. He pressed his forehead to the door. I'm sorry, he thought, but I can't let you go. I don't know how. But he lowered his hand and left. Inside, Taehyung cried into his pillow, hugging his knees. Why is he like this? Why does it hurt so much when he ignores me? Both of them lay awake long into the night, neither knowing how to cross the line they both pretended didn't exist. The next morning, Taehyung didn't come down for breakfast. Jungkook sat at the table, staring blankly at his black coffee, his appetite gone. He could hear movement upstairs, light footsteps, the gentle creak of Taehyung's door, but no one appeared. Mrs. Kim set down a plate in front of him. He's skipping breakfast again. Are you proud of yourself? Jungkook didn't reply. His eyes stayed on the staircase like they could will Taehyung into appearing. This can't go on, she said softly. You've always been close, But this isn't closeness. It's control. He dropped his fork. I'm not controlling him. Then why is he so afraid of disappointing you? He had no answer. Taehyung stopped riding with Jungkook. He took the bus instead, claiming it was easier. Jungkook offered rides once, twice, then stopped asking. Each rejection twisted something deeper inside his chest. Now Taehyung walked into campus with Felix every morning. Laughing. Smiling. The kind of smile Jungkook used to earn. From afar, Jungkook watched them. Felix always walked too close. He leaned in when Taehyung spoke. He carried Taehyung's sketchbooks. Taehyung didn't flinch away. He even looked happy. It made Jungkook sick. Jungkook's point of view. He found himself checking Taehyung's location on his phone, making excuses to walk past the fine arts building between classes. At lunch, he skipped meals and just sat in his car, watching the campus lawn. One afternoon, he spotted them under a tree. Taehyung sketching, Felix beside him, watching with soft eyes. Taehyung was giggling at something. The breeze caught his hair, and Jungkook clenched the steering wheel so hard his palm ached. He didn't recognize this version of himself, this bitter, possessive, jealous man. But the thought of someone else making Taehyung laugh like that felt unbearable. That smile used to be mine. Jungkook approached them near the library. Felix was helping Taehyung organize his art supplies. Taehyung's smile vanished instantly. What do you want, Hyung? Jungkook's voice came out low. Can we talk? I'm busy. Now. Felix stood up slowly, sensing the tension. Is everything all right? Jungkook didn't even look at him. This is a family matter. Taehyung gave a dry laugh. Really? Because I don't remember being treated like family lately. Jungkook's expression cracked for half a second. You've been avoiding me. Maybe because you act like a lunatic whenever I breathe near anyone else. Felix held up a hand awkwardly. Maybe I should. No, stay. Taehyung snapped. I want him to hear this. He turned to Jungkook, voice trembling with emotion. Why do you care? You don't talk to me. You don't smile at me. You treat me like property, then push me away. I'm not a toy you can throw in a drawer and drag out when you're bored. That's not what Then what is it? Tell me. Jungkook stared at him, jaw clenched, chest rising and falling like he'd just run miles. But he couldn't say it. Not in public. Not when Felix was standing there. Taehyung scoffed. That's what I thought. He walked away. That evening, Jungkook waited in his car near the fine arts building. He knew he was being irrational, creepy, even, but his legs wouldn't move. His pride was wounded. His chest burned. Then he saw them, Felix and Taehyung, exiting the building. Felix placed a gentle hand on Taehyung's shoulder. Taehyung didn't pull away. He smiled up at him. Something inside Jungkook snapped. He threw the door open and stormed across the lot. Taehyung. Both boys turned. What now, Hyung? Taehyung said tiredly. You. With me. Now. No. Jungkook reached them in 3 strides. He grabbed Felix's wrist, shoving it off Taehyung's shoulder. Don't touch him. Felix blinked, startled. What the hell is wrong with you? Jungkook turned to Taehyung, voice cracking with frustration. Get in the car. We're going home. Taehyung's eyes filled with tears. I'm not going anywhere with you. Now, Taehyung. No. I'm sick of you treating me like a prisoner. Jungkook's chest heaved. His hand shot out to grab Taehyung's wrist. "Let go." Taehyung twisted violently. "You're coming with me." "No." In a single motion, Taehyung's free hand lashed out, slapping Jungkook across the face. The sound cracked through the parking lot. Everyone froze. Felix recoiled. Jungkook's head turned from the force of the slap. Slowly, he lifted a hand to touch his burning cheek, eyes wide and dark with something unreadable. Taehyung's own eyes were brimming with tears, chest heaving. "Stop it, Hyung. Just stop. I hate this. I hate you when you're like this." Jungkook's jaw flexed. He swallowed hard, but no words came out. For a long moment he just stared at Taehyung, breathing heavily, fingers trembling where they hung at his sides. Then something in his face crumpled. He dropped his hand, eyes falling to the ground. Without another word, Jungkook turned on his heel and walked away. He didn't look back. He didn't even go to his car. Just kept walking, shoulders tight, fists clenched so hard they shook. Taehyung watched him go, wiping his tears furiously. "Hyung!" But it was too late. Felix rested a careful hand on Taehyung's shoulder. "Tae, are you okay?" Taehyung sniffed hard. "No. I don't know." He felt a sick, guilty weight in his stomach. He hadn't wanted to hit him. He hadn't wanted to see Jungkook's face fall like that. Why does he make me so angry? Why does he hurt me so much? He wrapped his arms around himself as he watched Jungkook disappear down the street. 3 days after the slap, silence had fallen over the John Kim household like an oppressive fog. Jungkook barely spoke. He came home late from classes or work, stomped upstairs without a word. At dinner, he sat with his phone, not looking up even once. Taehyung picked at his food across from him, sneaking glances that went unanswered. Mrs. Kim tried to break the tension. "So, how was class today, Taehyung?" "Fine." "Jungkook?" He didn't reply. Mr. John cleared his throat. "Son, your stepmother's talking to you." Jungkook didn't even blink. "I'm not hungry." He pushed his chair back and left. Mrs. Kim's eyes followed him in bafflement and hurt. "What on earth is wrong with him lately?" Taehyung said nothing. He just lowered his head so they wouldn't see his eyes shining. Home later that night, Taehyung lay awake in bed, hugging his pillow. He could hear Jungkook's heavy footfalls in the hall, the door to his room shutting firmly. "He won't even look at me now." His chest hurt. He hadn't meant to hit him. He hated how he'd made Jungkook's face fall. But he also hated how Jungkook treated him. "I just wanted him to listen, to understand." College days later, Taehyung stood by the Fine Arts building, scanning the lot. Jungkook's car wasn't there. Of course not. He's avoiding me. He'd been riding the bus alone all week. No more forced rides together. No more complaints about his clothes. At first, he thought he'd be relieved. Instead, he felt empty. To be continued. Would they fix what was already broken? Wait for part 2.